Mark.
Hey, Kingsley, for today. How are you?
Good.
Same thing I asked Coach. I don't know if you're in the room or not, but how different is the feeling, I guess, when you're coming off a 10-win season versus a 1-win season? Does it make it even more important this year to show that that was kind of a blip?
That's something we think of like that. We think starting the season, we started a fresh, clean slate. We don't focus on the past year's record, be it winning or losing, but we all have the extra chip on our shoulder to show what we were really about. Last year didn't tell justice what we what we could do as a team. So starting the season off in a clean slate and everybody knowing what they're supposed to do, getting positions right, that's what we're looking forward to.
Christian?
Kingsley, along with you, Kingsley, and Josh, and then Aaron and Chris on the other side, you guys are the super seniors who come back for your 6th season. How important is that group to the success of this team?
I'm coming off my 5th season. The guys really look up to us. They respect us. They respect our point of view. We've been around the block, as they say, so they look up to us to set that example, to show them how you practice, how you watch film, how you lift in the training room, all that, how you go to the training room when you're not even hurt, to take care of your body, So being there to set an example for the guys is the most important part of the season for us, to lead them and show them how to do right, and that's the most important part we don't take for granted.
Stephen and Nate?
Hey, Kingsley.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like to go from playing in, characterize this differently if you want to, but kind of like a read and react system to a 3-3-5, which is, I'm assuming, kind of more jump off the ball. What was that like for you individually?
Gave us an ability to show our flexibility, being able to move from a 5 to a 3 to a 4 to a 1 sometimes, to a 4-eye, shows like what we can do, we had to adjust to it, and we had the whole of spring ball to get really acclimated to that position, and we're loving it. Defense gives us an opportunity to make plays, to attack, so looking forward to this coming this fall camp so we can show and perfect more of what we've picked up during the spring ball. So just looking forward to show more of that flexibility.
I was going to say, just to follow up, did the spring kind of feel like a time to build new habits? Like, I've got to imagine it's hard when you're reading and reacting for a few years to, I don't know, to shed maybe some of those smaller processes that you dumped out at the time.
The spring was, we broke everything down during the spring. We started from the foundation during the spring, so that's how it is every spring ball. So we start from the foundation and build from the little things that, okay, why are we doing this? Why are we lining up here? Who we reading? Why are we reading them? How to, play different looks and different blocks different. So the spring gave us the opportunity to start afresh, remind ourselves, line up why we're doing things we're doing, and put it out in the field and film so we can see it for ourselves and make corrections.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Nate?
Kingsley, I don't know how much you'll remember about this day, but you, Josh, Aaron were among the guys that took a kind of final lap after your final home game last year around the Carrier field. I'm curious, what was that day like? When you were making that loop around the field, what was going through your mind? What were you thinking about? What were you talking about with the other guys in that group? Did you know then that you'd be standing here today?
That's funny. Taking that lap, I thought I was done with Syracuse football. I thought that was the last time I would play on that field, So it was very emotional for all of us taking that lap. We had no idea we were going to come back, So when the opportunity presented itself, talked to my family, talked to it, prayed, did all that, and we made the decision to come back. So it's good to have opportunity back to play again in the Dome. Love it. I hated taking that walk, not being able to show what we could do in our last season in the Dome. So having the opportunity to come back again is something that we're all looking forward to.
What do you think clinched it for you to decide to come back?
I wanted to show more of what I could do. I didn't feel like last season did justice of what I'm capable of as capable. And I'm sure, most of the other guys that came back will tell you that. we needed another opportunity to show what we are capable of, especially in the dome, to the fans that have been with us for as long as I can remember. So just doing this for the fans and giving them something to watch,
Well, Frank, then Mike, and then Dan.
Kingsley, just wonder how you feel you're on the first day. Like, ultimately, what would define a successful season for you this year?
So, obviously everybody wants to go to a bowl game. That's like top of our list, but just guys doing their job, that takes us a long time, long way, We're not thinking about the third game from now. We're not thinking about the fourth game from now. We're not thinking about the first game right now. We're thinking about the first day of camp and getting everything right. So we try not to think too far ahead, try to take days one at a time. So right now I'm thinking about meetings tonight, attacking those meetings tonight. And tomorrow, attacking practice tomorrow, attacking meetings after. That's how we take it. We try not to, think about 4 or 5 games from now. So taking it one day at a time.
Hey, Kingsley, you've been a veteran on this defensive unit for a while now, but are there any young players or new additions on the defensive side of the ball that stands out from what you've seen? And could you give an example?
A lot of guys stood out last year. A lot of guys that, especially in the back end, that had to step in, that haven't been on the football field on the college level before, and they showed out. Some of the DBs that Coach already talked about, and especially in the linebacker room, those guys are young ballers, man. They can run around and hit something. So Marlo, Staff, Michael's getting older now, but he's still some of the other guys. So I'm just proud to have those guys behind me. Those guys have really stepped up and put out there on film what they can do, and I'm really looking forward to the season with them.
Dan?
Kingsley, the relationship with Josh Black on and off the field, just what you can say about the bond that you guys have created and taking that walk like you had spoken about before, thinking it was the last time and knowing that you have one more ride with Josh Black out there.
Yeah, it was the last walk, as I mentioned. I was very emotional for everyone that was in it. So. For me and Black, we've had this relationship for a long time. Been through a lot of coaches, been through a lot of systems. We ride to practice every day together, and together. Today we rode together over here. So we have that, relationship that we can talk to each other and tell each other things. And okay, what are you thinking about this? And that relates very, very well on the field. So I can come up to him and okay, this happened, and he can be like, oh yeah, what do we see here? What do we see here? We have that kind of repertoire that we can just understand. Sometimes we don't even need to talk to each other. We know what each other's thinking. So those are some of the things that I feel like would translate very well on the field.
What's the best thing that he's taught you up to this point?
There's a lot of things we feel like passed on to each other. Think of one particular thing. I know I'll go back to that.
Time for 2 more for Kingsley. We'll start with Mark.
Kingsley, after everything that was taken away from you guys last year, the opportunity to bond with your teammates, just all the protocols you had to follow, what's it feel like getting ready to go back to practice where everything's going to be like it used to be?
We love it. We're looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to this. I've been looking forward to it for a long time. Having the opportunity to start clean, start afresh, like a clean slate. Everybody's going out there, to ball, to enter position, things like that. So this opportunity means a lot to every one of us. I can speak for every one of us in here that it means a lot to us, especially for the seniors coming back to have this opportunity to show what they can do again.
Kingsley, so on the offensive line, I know they're trying to play a little more downhill this year under Mike Schmidt. What was it like to go against them this spring, and how different is that, facing, I guess, a potentially different style of blocking? I don't know.
The guys have definitely, we've definitely gotten better, going against them all spring. They've improved. We're still competing, so I'm not going to give them any praise right now. We're going into fall camp. But they've definitely gotten better from what we had last year. And I'm just looking forward to them improving even more. I'm not going to talk too much about what they're doing over there because I don't know about what they're doing.
Sure. All right, thanks a lot, Kingsley. Next we'll bring down Chris.
Okay.